Hey guys, hope everybody's doing well. I'm gonna do a test hand video. Damn, messing up my sleeve. I need new sleeves. I wanted to follow up after showcasing the combo Dragonmaid deck. I wanted to do some test hands. The thing is, like, I did say that I wanted to do a combo video, but if I did a combo video with specific cards, then it's always like you need Saryu, right? So you always play Saryuja, to draw 4 cards, shuffle 3 back, shuffle any bricks. So it's always gonna be, random. So I just wanted to do a test hand video. I think it's more realistic anyway because when you do a test hand video, I mean, like, you're shuffling your deck, you're seeing what your hands look like, and when you duel, you start with 5 cards in hand. Let's get right into it. So our first hand is Parlor, World Legacy Guard. It's looking really good, guys. It's honestly these 2 cards alone is like it's I mean, but this is actually a really good example of so in this hand specifically we drew 2 World Legacy Guard Dragons and we drew a rocket, silver rocket. It would have been better if it was Tracer or Quick Launch, but it's actually nice because now I can show you guys how, like, it's 3 really good cards. Like, we have a really good extender, the best extender, as I mentioned in my video, and then we have another good extender off Dragon Shrine, and then these 2 cards are not really relevant, but we could just shuffle them back with Saryuja. So let's get right into it. We're gonna start off by normal summoning Parlor. We're gonna activate Parlor's effect because we drew the World Legacy Guard Dragon. We could do some nice things. So we're gonna send Chamber. So Chamber goes to the graveyard. This is so the deck that I showcased to you guys. This deck is definitely going to be updated. It's going to go from like a 49 card deck to like a 60 card deck. I feel like Dragon Link, combo Dragonmaid, any like dragon deck. There's just so many good dragons in the game that playing 60 cards is pretty nice because it just gives you more fuel. So we're gonna activate World Legacy Guard Dragon. We're gonna summon Chamber. With Chamber, we're going to add. Let's see. We're gonna add. Let's add the fusion spell because with Saryuja we have a better chance of drawing Hospitality because we play 3. But if we don't use Chamber to get the fusion spell, there's a low chance we're gonna see it after this. So from here we're gonna go into a Link 1. Let's start going into our extra deck. Let's start our plays. We're gonna go into Striker Dragon. Striker Dragon's gonna get us the field spell. By the way, shoutouts to Team King of Games. Man, that guy just posted the live Dragonmaid. He's playing it pure, and his replays were amazing. I actually want to try to see if I can, based off his deck profile, maybe I can figure out a nice pure Dragonmaid. So he kind of like, oh my god, but we'll talk about that later. But anyway, going on with the combo, we're gonna go into Romulus. So here, so again, it's so freaking good because even though I could have gotten access to 2, gotten Pisty and LP, it's not necessary because I have the World Legacy Guard Dragon. So from here, I can search the Divine Lance. I'm going to activate Divine Lance, so we equip Phalanx. It is unfortunate that these 2 cards are bricks. I mean, Divine Lance not so much because we could always search Ravine, but Phalanx is another brick. But it just raises the ceiling for this deck so much more because now Romulus can just search this, which gets you a monster. So we're going to activate Phalanx's effect. It could special summon itself from the Spell and Trap zone. So we're going to go into a Link. We're going to link into LP. It doesn't matter if we put it here. We're just going to use the effect of World Legacy Guard Dragon. We're going to move it. And then because we moved it, now they're pointing to the same zone. We're going to activate its effect. And we're going to summon, Darkness Metal. From Darkness Metal effect, we could revive anything. Actually, you know what? What would be awesome right here is we could activate Shrine. And then with Shrine, we can, let's see, actually maybe it wasn't relevant to do that, but it doesn't matter. We already did it, so let's do it anyway. So with Shrine, actually, you know what? This is actually a pretty good play. So with Shrine, we're going to actually send Nurse. Okay, and that's because when we activate Darkness Metal's effect, we can revive Nurse, and then Nurse can get us back any other Dragonmaid. That way we can extend even further, and we have materials for Xiao. So there's different routes I could have taken, but it's just, that's what I like about the deck, is that there's multiple ways to get to your end board. So we're gonna get into our Saryuja, and we're gonna link these 4 off. This is going to go to the graveyard. Where's our Saryuja? Okay, and now let's just shuffle the deck a little bit. We're going to cut. And then let's see what we draw off Saryuja. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. And then our hand is looking like this. So what's cool is that even though we didn't get access to Tracer, we could have, but even if we didn't, we have the 2 different names right here, and we have the field spell, which is nice. So we're definitely going to return Shrine. We have Parlor on the field. Oh my god. Okay, so we could return World Legacy Guard Dragon, so we only have 1 card to return. Let's see here. What to return? I kind of want to return. Actually, you know what? This is so good that we drew this. So we could actually return like Silver Rocket, and I'll show you guys why. Everything's gonna make sense once you guys see the end board. And it's so cool. I kept the trap because this allows for another interruption. The draws were really good off Saryuja, and I had, like I said, me opening up with World Legacy Guard Dragon allowed me to get into this board, which is nice. That's why I said in my deck profile, this card is the absolute best extender. So we're going to go into Link 1. We're going to go into our Pisty. And then with Pisty, we need access to a Dragonmaid so we could fuse. So we're just going to summon Parlor. And then from here, we're going to activate Changeover so we can start to fuse. We're going to start setting up our interruption. So we're going to fuse these 2 into Xiao, and it's nice because it gets the boost from Saryuja. So 3800 is pretty beefy. And then from here we could activate the field spell. We're gonna just summon. Actually, you know what? It's so funny. We could actually save this because I forgot we get the special summon from Saryuja. So we're just gonna summon using Saryuja's effect. That way we can just like maintain like some card advantage, like something. This is a monster reborn every turn. It could be, if your opponent controls more monsters than you, or we could special summon from the, anyway, so, from here, we're going to go into our Link 2, and we're going to go into Heretic, and then, because we had the, the Tempest, we could banish any 2 dragons, any 2, okay, so we could banish, like, Striker, we could banish, like, the Pisty, banish these 2, summon this guy, and then with these 2 we can go into our IP. So in the new version of the deck, we would have went into Anaconda and got Dragoon, which I think is like way stronger because Dragoon can negate any card or effect. But this is by it's not a IP is still insane because IP like can go into Unicorn, it can go into Appaloosa, so it's not a bad choice by any means. It just Dragoon would have been better because it's just it applies more pressure. You can't target it. can't be destroyed by card effects. If they don't get rid of it, you could pop 2 monsters on their field, burn damage. So but again, if you don't have Dragoons and you want to play this version of the deck, IP just got reprinted, so it's more easily accessible. So it's a very good option. So we're just gonna end by setting the tiding, which is so freaking good. And then during our opponent's turn, during the standby, we're gonna activate Xiao's effect, and Xiao's gonna get the nurse, and then the nurse is gonna get us the chamber, and then chamber is gonna allow us to get hospitality, which is gonna give us a good follow up. So now look how this deck. This deck is just like, it's so good. I love this deck. So we ended with these 4 interruptions, right? So we have a very strong negate, Omni negate. We have a very strong bounce that gets us any dragon from the deck. We have Masquerena, which can get us Appaloosa, and in this scenario, we could Appaloosa for 4 negates if we wanted to. We won't do that because we want this to be live. So what we'll do is, during our opponent's turn, they try to ideally, you could negate something first, and then if something more threatening comes up, you could tribute, and then you could summon anything from the deck. Honestly, you know what, it would be a good idea for an even bigger follow-up is that you could summon. There's a lot of options, but my favorite option would actually be summon Brotar, and then we could discard the field spell that we didn't use. Because it's not relevant right now, and we could grab something more relevant next turn, which is Levianeer, and then we have the Heretic Seal as our light target. So look at this. This is just insane. Like this turn 1 board, and even through with our opponent, it's going to be very difficult for them to play through this, because not only do we negate something, bounce something, we have another bounce in the form of tidying. We could bounce like Nurse. Nurse is actually a really good one to bounce back. So this will be our hand. And then, we'll bounce something else. So 1, 2, 3 interruptions, and then we can Masquerena. If they're playing like a combo deck or anything else, we can, oh, what am I doing? This is the main deck. We could go into Appaloosa. Appaloosa will have 3 negates because we use 2 monsters in IP. And then, so that's 3 negates, a bounce, negate, a bounce. That's so crazy. That's insane. So even though maybe it didn't look as threatening, as the game progresses, the board just gets stronger. And then you could even save this Omni negate for last. If you absolutely don't need it, and you could just manage with everything else, you get so much advantage just keeping this monster on board, because every turn you're going to be able to revive any of your Dragonmaids without relying on having a Dragonmaid on the field like House does. So even if you don't go into Appaloosa, I just want to show you guys an example. So say you're playing a back row deck, and then they go end phase, you go before you enter end phase, IP effect. And by the way, if we use IP effect just for Unicorn, we'll actually keep 1 monster, which is it's better for us. But Unicorn will actually send the Nurse that we send back because we have Hospitality, and Hospitality is going to allow us next turn to get Nurse. If we use the negate with Xiao. So let's just say we did, and this is how our board looks right now. So next turn, we draw a card, doesn't matter. We could activate what's it called? House effect. House will get us Parlor because it's 1 level lower than Chamber, and then Parlor can just send anything to the grave. It could send one of the bigger Dragonmaids so we could tag out. It's so freaking good. And then we still have the Levianeer, so we could still banish 2 darks and 1 light, pop 2 cards in their field. Ooh, man, I'm out of breath. But I wanted to show you guys. Want to make sure that you guys understand, where I'm going and how the interactions would work with the board setup. So that was a long test hand. I know it was, but actually the first one is probably the most important one because it's where I'll explain everything, which I hope I did. And then let's just do another test hand. Get right into it. I think a power shuffle would work better, but it's gonna take too long for a power shuffle. Yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that first test hand. It was a pretty amazing test hand. And it was only amazing because we drew World Legacy Guard Dragon and Parlor. That's like the best combo. Like it's better than drawing Chamber and World Legacy Guard Dragon. Parlor, drawing World Legacy Guard Dragon with Parlor is literally the best combo. It's the best combo because even if Parlor is like, it's such a good bait for a negate. So like say they did negate Parlor, you could just link into Striker Dragon and then activate World Legacy Guard Dragon, get Parlor back, go into Romulus. Romulus still gets you the Divine Lance. Divine Lance gets you Phalanx, and you could still move it. You could still go into your Saryuja plays even through an Interruption, like through an Ash, through an Imperm, which is still pretty nice. And then say like they stopped I mean, like, our hand was way too good. Like, even if they stopped Striker Dragon, it's okay. We don't really need the field spell. But say they didn't stop Striker Dragon, and say they stopped Romulus, okay? If they stopped Romulus, we would have just activated the field spell to summon the Silver Rocket that we opened up, and then Silver Rocket would have became LP. And then we still would have been able to move the LP with the World Legacy Guard Dragon. So even if we got, like, hand trapped twice, like, even if like they impermed and they ashed, say they impermed and they ashed, we still would have been able to combo off because we also had the Dragon Shrine. That's crazy. We also had the Dragon Shrine. Wow. So that hand was actually better than I thought. Anyway, so let's get right into our second test hand. We're gonna cut. All right, and test hand number 2. Magna Rocket. Oh, this sucks. So this is actually, it sucks a lot because, you know, these are 2 cards you don't, you know, want to draw often, but whatever. Wow. This is, you know what? This is actually a good thing because I want to show you guys what happens when you don't draw that great. So this hand, first glance, it looks terrible, but we could actually play. And I'll show you guys how. It's actually not that hard to figure out if you play Dragon Link before, but if you play Dragon Link, you know that these 3 cards to draw is freaking terrible. This card's not that terrible to draw. I take that back, because this card, just being able to banish a monster, special summon it, it allows you to extend, like, so it's actually not terrible. Drawing this card was phenomenal. Again, I can't stress enough why this is such a good extender. Now this card seems dead right now, but drawing this card, it's going to allow us to do some really cool things. So let's start off. We can't get the plus, unfortunately, so we're going to normal summon. This is our only normal summon, so it's, I mean, at least we drew a normal summon. So we're going to go on Striker, no effect, because we drew the field spell. Next, we're going to activate World Legacy Guard Dragon. We're going to summon this. And then we're going to, let's see here. There's just like, there's so many options. Yeah, you know what? This is better. We're going to link to, we're definitely going to go into Romulus. I was thinking one step ahead, like, you know, after Romulus, what we do. So here we can add the Divine Lance, right? Divine Lance gets us Phalanx, and then we'll be able to, you know, get into Saryuja because we could summon this from hand using LP's effect. But the thing is, because we drew this, we have so many, like, if we add Ravine, we could discard this off Ravine and then send a Dragonmaid monster like Chamber. And then if we do that, we're able to add the fusion spell. And then we can just go into LP, and then we could still, you know what? Yeah, that's a no-brainer. So it definitely wasn't a great hand, but this has happened multiple times with me, by the way, where I would draw the trap and I would just add Ravine, because if I drew the trap and I add Ravine instead of Divine Lance, I'm just gonna activate Ravine, discard the trap, because Dragonmaid Tidying acts as a Monster Reborn, which is awesome. So here, let's see, we could kind of think ahead a little bit. So what I'm gonna do here, yeah, so you could send Chamber and then summon, you know, Chamber with this and then get the Monster Reborn. But if you want to fuel your graveyard a bit more, you're gonna send Parlor, right? And then you're gonna activate the trap. Right, the trap, we're going to banish the Dragonmaid Tidying. We're going to target Parlor, and then we're going to summon Parlor. Actually, you know what? Let me check this really quick. I just want to make sure. Does it target? You can banish this card. Special summon. No. Oh my god, that's so good. Okay, so we're just going to special summon Parlor. We're going to activate Parlor's effect. We're going to send Chamber. And then from here, we're going to get into our Dragon, Guard Dragon plays. We're going to summon LP. So, you know, you could summon Red Eyes Darkness Metal. You could honestly hold it. The reason that I say this is because with LP, you could summon Nurse, so that way you keep hand advantage. You know what I mean? And you could use Darkness Metal's effect later on in the turn. So from here, we're just gonna actually, you know what? Word Legacy Guard Dragon effect. We're gonna move it so that way they point to the same zone. Then use LP's effect, summon Nurse, and then use Nurse's effect to summon Chamber. Then use Chamber's effect to summon. To add. Where is it? There we go. Changeover. Changeover. Fantastic fusion spell. So this is our hand. Okay, this is our hand right now. And man, there's less. It's like there's so many routes you can take. We can go Saryuja. We can definitely go Saryuja, but like, is it the smartest thing to, go into Saryuja right now? Because we don't need to go into Saryuja. That's what I'm trying to say. You don't need to, because you already have access to Shao and Shao and your fusion, because you have Red Eyes Darkness Metal. But I feel like we could push it even further. So I am gonna go into Saryuja, because I'm confident that we're at least gonna draw one level 4 or lower dragon, so we could go into our Pisty. So let's draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is better than I asked for. Okay, so we have. So do we need Red Eyes Darkness Metal? Okay, so we don't need this, right? We're definitely gonna keep this, because that's gonna be our free IP, or free Dragoon. If you have Boral Savage, free Boral Savage. And then we're gonna, because we drew this, we don't need this, so that's another card we don't need. And you know what? We actually don't need Hospitality. You know what? We do need Hospitality. So I think in this scenario, honestly, because we drew Dragon Shrine, we don't need Darkness Metal. Yeah, isn't that interesting? That's so crazy. We actually drew Darkness Metal, but excuse me. So from here, we're gonna go Dragon Shrine. Again, because we drew Dragon Shrine, we could actually send our level 7 that we're gonna be using for our fusion. Oh crap. Okay. Let's see here. Damn, did I? Let's see. I think we should have probably kept Darkness Metal. Should we have? I don't think it would have mattered, honestly. Like, I guess we could have kept Darkness Metal, banished the Pisty summon another monster, and then go into the fusion, be able to do this. You know what? I just realized that we can't end with Hieratic Seal and Shao and IP. I mean, the hand was trash, but like, we still did it. Okay, it's alright, it's all good. So then we're gonna activate Hospitality, and actually with Hospitality, what we could do is we could summon Harper, and then we could just send the bigger form to the grave. Oh no, where is it? Right, or par. And then we can summon. You know what? We could just go pit. No. What am I talking about? We could still do it. Yeah, we could go Pisty with, and then revive. Yeah, wow, that was, I don't know why I didn't see that play before. So, we summoned Parlor. Parlor, we go into Pisty, and they point to 2 zones. Summon Parlor back. Summon, actually, from here we can just go Link 2 into Heretic. Why the heck then? I don't know. Sometimes I have these moments where just, it just takes a minute. So we go into Heretic Seal. So we could actually, yeah, we actually ended on full combo. And then we're going to use Tempest Effect. We could literally banish anything, but I prefer to banish like the smaller ones first. Because you could use, this has some applications, I guess, if you were playing, because I'm thinking of the new build that I have, and I always want to leave Saryuja for like Boral Savage, and also for access code because it's an earth. So we're gonna summon this, and then we're gonna use changeover. We're gonna fusion into Xiao. Okay. And then from here we're just gonna activate quick launch. Quick launch gets us Tracer. We're gonna use Tracer's effect. Let's just pop the Word Legacy Guard Dragon because Ravine can be helpful next turn. And we could just summon any of the rockets. I'm just gonna summon the first one I see, except Tracer. So Silver. And then we could just like link again. You could, if you Savage Dragon, which, I guess arguably Savage would be a better option. If I play Savage, I would probably, I don't know. If I was sticking to this build, I don't know if I would like play Savage and IP and Appaloosa in the same build. But that's why in the new build, I'm playing Dragoon, Borload Savage. I'm even playing Hope Harbinger. I'll show you case that build. I feel like it's a better build because we play like Chaos Space. I think we play more like extenders and stuff like that. But anyway, we ended up getting to our end board, which is amazing. Again, I'm kind of disappointed in myself for not seeing that play. I don't know how I didn't see that play, making Parlor into Pisty, summoning Parlor back with Pisty, so I got the extra body to go into Heretic. I don't know why I didn't see that, but I'm glad I did before I continued. But anyway, we ended with the same end board. And I want you guys to keep in mind what we drew. We actually drew like pretty bad, compared to like other hands you draw with this deck. But that's what I love about this deck is even though we drew bad, like it's not, I wouldn't even say it was bad, it just wasn't great. And even so, even if we drew subpar, even if we didn't draw the most optimal hand, the best hand that we could have drawn, or at least like a hand where you can clearly see your line of play. So in that specific hand that we drew, I didn't see the clear line of play that I wanted to take at first. But because we drew World Legacy Guard Dragon, any dragon that you can normal summon and a World Legacy Guard Dragon equals a Saryuja. And even though we play like so many extenders and like a lot of good cards we could draw, you never know. You could draw like 3 Dragon Shrine off Saryuja. You just have like it's very unexpected. So anyway, with this hand, it's still, with this end board, it's the same thing. During our opponent's standby, we're gonna get Chamber back. Chamber's gonna get us another with Chamber. Oh yeah, Chamber, we're gonna get Hospitality, and then we're still gonna bounce. We're still gonna negate. We could still go to an Appaloosa. We can still go into Unicorn if we wanted to. Amazing, very good. Okay, so that was 2 successful test hands. I would say that was even like, and I love that I actually, I was hoping that I wouldn't draw like the best hands. I didn't want to draw broken always because I don't want you guys to think that this hand, like this deck, can always draw like insane hands because it's not realistic. But I did want to show you guys that even though with an unappealing hand, you can still combo off and you could still get to your end board with multiple disruptions. So I'm glad that I was able to show you guys that. And it's, oh my god, I can't believe we're already at 30 minutes. Do I talk too much? I think I do. I know I do. Let's do one more test hand, and if it's a clear if it's clear that I can combo off. I'm not even gonna combo because, um, you know, you guys have already seen the end boards, and that's exactly what this deck always does. Those 3 cards, if you play this build and the same extra deck, the only difference is that IP can be Borreload Savage Dragon. So you could go, and in some cases, having IP is better because having an Appaloosa with 3 negates is better than, say, Borreload Savage Dragon's 1 negate. I mean, granted, Borreload Savage Dragon can negate spells and traps as well, but the thing is, if you're playing against a heavy combo deck that relies on their monsters effects more, then Appaloosa might be the better option. So I don't think I shuffled that well, but whatever. So let's get into it. We drew this card again, so okay, so we drew Nibiru. If we're playing against a combo deck, going second, Nibiru them, and then this is actually a really good. This is a decent hand. So we're gonna normal summon Magna Rocket. This is, I actually didn't want to play this hand out, but the thing is, I want to show you guys like multiple scenarios, like how you guys can get to your end board. So we're gonna normal summon Magna Rocket. We're gonna special summon this Absurautor because it's a free extender. And then we're gonna go into Striker Dragon. Striker Dragon's gonna get us the field spell. You know, it's cool not drawing like the most broken hands. Like, you can't hope to open up with like Hospitality Chamber, Hospitality Parlor, Hospitality Kitchen, World Legacy Guard Dragon with any dragon monster. You can't always hope to open up those cards, but like, you know, hopefully I can showcase like how this another kind of unappealing hand becomes a pretty good hand. So we're gonna link to go into Romulus. So here, it doesn't matter which one we prioritize, but I guess to avoid an Ogre or a Gamma, I would go Chainlink 1 Romulus, Chainlink 2 Absurautor because I need the body. So we're going to search off Absurautor, we're going to search the Tracer because we have the field spell. And then off Romulus, we're going to get, we drew the Dragon's Ravine, so our only option is to grab a Divine Lance. Obviously we won't grab the Phalanx because that would be dumb. So from here we can, oh crap, so we actually got some moves. We actually got some moves, guys. Dragon Trine's gonna act as it's gonna act as a nice foolish. So the thing is, we could either use Rocket Tracer to get into LP Pisty, or we can use Dragon Ravine to dump Tempest, which we can get into Triple Burst. But I think we're gonna do this play. So we're gonna activate Lance. We're gonna get Phalanx. So here's the thing, right? If you're scared of getting Nibiru'd here, which I think they will Nibiru. So here's what we do, right? We go Phalanx, and then we go into Link 1 LP, right? If they Nibiru here, we have one play left. Actually, no, I take that back. We actually have multiple options. So if they Nibiru you here, we could still, you know, summon Tracer, and then Tracer we could still go into, again, if you play, that's the thing, if you play Borreload Savage Dragon, it's a better like play through Nibiru than IP, because we can't just go into or Dragoons, you know what I mean? We can't just go into IP pass. That's ridiculous. In this scenario, like if they Nibiru here, we get the token, and we get the token, so we could actually use this, summon Tracer. We can pop the token and just keep the field spell on board, and then get a monster from the deck, and then synchro into Borreload Savage, or we can go into Verte Anaconda in the new build, and then go into Dragoon. So through a Nibiru, we could still end with Dragoon, which is awesome because Dragoon is a very oppressive card. But let's just say we didn't get Nibiru'd, because that's a what if. I'm trying to show you guys what a complete hand can do. So we're gonna use the boot sector launch. We're not gonna use it his effect because we don't want to be stuck into darks. We want to be able to go into light still. So now we have our LP Pisty play, which is great, right? We're going to go into Darkness Metal. And where is Darkness Metal? Come on, Darkness Metal. Don't you hate when like you're looking for a card and it's like the top 3 cards? It's freaking annoying. But anyway, so from here we could, we're going to, before we activate Darkness Metal's effect, we drew the Ravine, right? So we're going to activate Ravine. And we're going to send the Nibiru, right? Because I kind of want to keep Kitchen in hand. Because Kitchen's a Dragonmaid monster that we could summon off Saryuja. Or it could just be like fusion material. So what we're going to do here is the reason that we're activating Dragon Ravine is we're going to send... we could send Chamber or Parlor. We could technically get back any... No, you know what? We're going to send Chamber because we need the Pisty for something else. So activate Darkness Metal, summon Chamber, and then Chamber can get us Hospitality. Team, and just like that, like, you know, we're in the game, man. We're going full combo, and we're going to be able to end on the same board, essentially. So... I don't know if I want to continue because we're definitely going to end on the same board. We're going to end on the same board because Saryuja will draw us 4. And we don't really need it, to be honest. Like we could go Saryuja. We could actually fusion summon right now. Right? We could fusion summon right now. And after we fuse, we get Shao. Then this can be triple burst. So we could have the pointer down that way. And then Pisty could get us quick Tracer back. And then with this and triple burst, we go into Hieratic Seal. And then Tracer pops this to get another rocket to go into IP. So without going into Saryuja, you're still able to end on that board, which is awesome. So like we don't really need to go Saryuja. That's why I didn't like continue the play because it's the same thing. It's going to be the same end board. So from those 3 test hands back to back, I want to, you know, I hope that proved that this this deck is consistent. It's very consistent on ending on the same 3 disruptions, the same 3 interactions, which is it's you know, in my opinion, it's very strong because you want a deck that's consistent, and also if they hand trapped you at any point, you're still able to end on a couple of forms of disruption in the form of Hieratic Seal and Shao, maybe without IP or Boral Savage or Dragoon. You could still end on Hieratic Shao through an interruption, and in some cases you could still end on IP Hieratic Dragonmaid Shao through interruptions, which is great, and that all depends on what you draw, obviously. But 2 out of those 3 hands, I would say, weren't that great, and we still ended with like our average end board, which is IP, Hieratic, and Shao. So 2 of those hands were not that great. We still did it, which is great. I'm so happy that I could showcase what this deck can do for you guys. That was the main point of this test hand video, and that's why I didn't do a combo video, because like I could do a combo video showing you like 2-card combos, 3-card combos, but it's not realistic. What is realistic is playing an entire hand, seeing what you draw, and then seeing what you can do through disruptions. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I know this was another long video. Look, we're like pushing 40 minutes. I just like to take my time with these things because I want to, I want you guys to try to understand my perspective and what I want this deck, or what I wanted this deck to do when I was building it. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great day and take care.